Sakshi, what's this?
ये एक कुआं है. इसमें चुड़ैल आके बच्चों को फेंकती है.
Oh, I love that.
Guys, it's a mug.
And
Hi
this
guys.
is yeah. Hi guys,
I'm Sakshi Shivdasani.
I'm Naina Bhan,
And I'm Imran Khan. Hi.
and this is and this is moment of silence. I'm done.
There's nothing silent about any of this.
That's the joke. It's intense.
Is this a funny podcast?
It was supposed to be.
Oh, I've entirely misunderstood the brief.
Just subscribe and follow, and let's get into the episode. How much female attention did you get post Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na? And what did you do with it? Like, what do you do with that kind of attention?
It's that is a complicated thing because I from the moment that my first film released and I started to become recognized by people, I quickly became uncomfortable with it, and I to this day I have a difficult and complicated relationship with that public persona part. Because it's only it is only one part of who I am. I'm before anyone recognized me or knew me, before I became an actor, there's a certain amount of life that I lived, and I've certain experiences, whatever all of that stuff is, that's also me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all those other parts that go to make up who I am were unknown to people. Suddenly overnight, people who I don't know, and this would happen all the time, people say, "Hey, are you Imran Khan?" I'm like, "How do you know?" I don't know you.
This is too humble. I'm sorry. Take a shot every time
That's-
Imran says something humble.
But that's kind of the experience
Yeah.
of it, because you're used to, if I know someone, they know me, you've met somewhere, something like this.
Yeah.
A person who you've never met comes up and says, "Hey, I know your name." How?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You get like thrown off. Like, am I supposed to recognize
Yeah.
them also? Okay.
So now, and then would come this favorable attention, unfavorable attention, all of it. Someone would watch a film and say, "Oh my God, you're this incredible and amazing person." But how do you know? You've watched a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
You like the film, thank you. You like the character, okay. But that's only this part of me.
Yeah.
So that kind of great adulation, basis not really knowing who I am, I couldn't take it very seriously, and I couldn't take it in.
Right.
And the flip side of that, which even you will be aware of as living kind of a public life, is people who don't know you also have opinions about you. You're shit. You're stupid. You're terrible. You don't deserve anything. It's like, okay, but again, you don't actually know. Navigating that thing and finding the balance of, okay, these people love me without really knowing me. These people hate me without really knowing me. I have to try and walk this tightrope and hold on to who I actually am. And that led to a lot of dissociation from the outside part. So I've never fully gotten comfortable.
Do you remember the first time you got, like, what's the most out of pocket thing someone has told you out in the wild? We'll give you examples if you like.
Yeah, please, because
Sakshi, what
No,
comes
so
to mind?
Naina and I get recognized for the podcast, and I get very often like, I didn't recognize you because you don't look pretty online. Like, that's something that people are very
I'm
comfortable,
very comfortable
telling
talking
me.
about how you
Yeah.
look, what is
Yes.
like. Hey,
And I'm
excuse
like,
me.
I'm
This
just
has
trying to
happened-
catch a flight.
Dude, it's happened too many times where somebody comes to us and we're standing there like, oh my God, you guys are pretty.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like,
like it didn't come across
it's
on
like
the internet.
shocking. Yeah.
Must be the lighting.
Yeah, must be that.
Hey.
We edit everything. We have a graphics guy who edits every frame to make us look ugly.
But honestly, I mean, this is all fairly newer for me. Sakshi has been around since like COVID and is very unfazed by a lot of things. So she often guides me through the process. But I was kind of initially stuck in this whole thing of like, I don't want to be perceived, and there's so much of my life that people don't know. And now I'm genuinely like, fuck it. because I would rather they perceive me and actually take a moment to give some kind of feedback, even if it's like vengeful. At least they're talking about me.
Huh. It's such a strange thing to build your relationship with, and for anyone who steps into the public eye as a sports person, as a musician, whatever it is that you may be doing, that allows for the general public to discuss what it is that you're doing, to discuss your choices. uh, it is a very, very strange and difficult parasocial relationship that one is trying to figure out. And it is very easy to start to kind of lose yourself to that, whether it is getting buried in the negative part of it, or whether it is chasing validation and then trying to be more like they like me like that, so I have to be even more, even more, even more. It is
Okay. I hear you.
be careful of the thing.
I have a couple of pictures that I pulled from the internet, and I want you to tell me what is happening in them.
They're all AI. It's just
Okay. This I wanted to know.
okay. What's happening here is Ranbir and I are walking the ramp at a fashion show.
Not literally. Like, what is
Oh,
the backstory?
what's the back?
Like describing it. Yeah.
No, no. I'm trying to remember where it was.
It was Karan Johar's
It was,
rap
it was
show.
Karan Johar and Varun Behl, I want to say.
Sure.
Jen has not done that much research.
Yeah. I just picked the photo.
Yeah. And so at just around this moment, I guess Ranbir and I had just hosted the Filmfare Awards together, which was like a whole nother trip.
My favorite New Year's Eve party.
The Filmfare Awards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
was also a kid.
This is
I was
just on the
also a
heels
kid.
of that.
Oh.
So yeah, we're walking the ramp, and I've never been comfortable doing, like, stage show, ramp walk, all of that stuff. So a fair bit of anxiety, because if you've ever watched fashion shows, everyone walks with a sense of like great presence, great confidence, and they're projecting all of this stuff outward. I'm like, I don't really know how to do that. I'm on stage and kind of going, okay, just don't fall off the edge, don't fall off the edge. It's it's harrowing. So we're trying to look cool.
Did you enjoy your outfit and the bronzer that has carved each
see?
muscle of your body?
No, that's a whole weird process, being body painted backstage, huh?
Please tell
Yeah.
us more. What goes into painting your body?
Lighting, a whole lot of kind of flexing and twisting, and they're literally kind of painting and bronzing and trying to shade. Okay, maybe make the abs look sharper.
Do they make you like flex your abs real hard?
Yeah,
while
yeah.
doing it?
So there is this whole thing of trying to look very, 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 very muscled. It's stressful.
And did you like come with your trainer and then he made you do?
Push-ups backstage.
Nee, I've this is before I've never been that serious about physical fitness and all of that. If I'm honest, it is very much a thing that I have had to kind of force myself to do. It's like, come on, no, you have to go and work out. It's good for your body. It's you'll be healthy. It doesn't come naturally. So at this point, I was really not doing much
You're
of that.
so relatable. You're just so relatable.
Thank you.
But
Yes.
I also, so we used to model as well. So we know the ramp walk thing. I think the most I feel like it's the most out of body experience backstage, because at that point your body doesn't like belong
doesn't
to
belong
you
to
at
you,
all.
yeah.
Yeah. Like the
Also,
makeup.
your legs don't like coordinate with your arms. Suddenly, you've kind of lost.
You're very conscious about a very like natural movement. I get it.
Walking, yeah. Yes,
I
all
can't
of this
believe-
stuff. So
Yeah.
I was going through all of this stuff backstage going, how do I walk?
Yeah.
Like, how high do your arms swing? Do you really swing
And then
it
they
that
make
much?
you do that. They tell you to do like
You hit a
walk
pose at
like
the
you're
end.
like walking like that or some shit, and then you forget everything when you're walking. Yeah, Imran and I are basically as successful models as each other.
Possibly you have a bit more experience in that
No,
area.
but thank you.
I'd venture to say you may have.
Thank you.
I can think of twice that I've done a ramp walk as to my recollection.
Yeah, but I never walked for Karan Johar and Varun Behl with Ranbir Kapoor. So
What was the after party like?
Uh, I'll be honest, I have no memory of it whatsoever.
I love that. That
That's how
means it
good
was
it
a
was.
good one.
No, I don't think that had much of an after party. The filmfare stuff was more of a party and a lot more fun.
If you had to have like a raging night in Mumbai, who would you call?
A stunt double.
Very, very lovely. How you evaded that, I don't know. Okay, what is filmfare like?
Your stunt double?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have a stunt double you're still in touch with?
Funny.
Not
That was like
actively.
amazing.
Not actively, but a wild night out. Yeah, that at this point, I think I would have my stunt double take that part.
Oh, okay. Instead of you.
Yes.
Duh.
How
I'm
does
so
filmfare
slow.
get shot though? I really want to know. Like, so is it like a 6 hour long process?
It's stressful, man, because I was, less than a year old in the industry.
Yeah.
And here we are up on this large stage, and we knew for a fact that Mr. Bachchan is going to be in the front row, and like everybody is there.
Yeah.
It is very scary and stressful. So I guess by the time we were done with rehearsals and we were getting ready for showtime, Ranbir shows up with a large bottle of expensive vodka. So we kind of had that just off stage on the side, and we were kind of taking sips of it every time we exited, and that kept our nerves in check.
Fair enough.
Second half of the show is a bit hazy, if I'm.
Chalo.
Honestly. But it has to be. I feel like stage fright only has one solution. That's why this is expensive vodka.
This is not vodka. This is just
No.
coffee.
Mine.
This photo.
That is.
What is this? For context,
And Vedant will add it.
yeah, I mean later I'll show you, but that was the previous one.
This is from a photo shoot for God alone knows what magazine. But it was also part of the, I want to say, I Hate Love Stories promotional campaign. Karan had decided to kind of sex up my image. And I had at that point, I'm generally kind of blessed metabolically. I don't really gain weight. Sorry,
Must
guys.
be nice.
So, and on top of that, I was kind of minding my diet and exercising and all of this for that film particularly. So Karan's like, we gotta cash in on this, do a body shoot, lots of bare torso.
But I feel
That
like
was that shoot.
Bollywood back then was a lot less like, I feel like the transition from like chocolate boy to like sexing up an image, if y'all decided to do it, it would happen because there was no social media back then where people could like comment and be like, I liked him more as a chocolate boy, or was that still a thing? Like,
That's an interesting question. And the growth of social media kind of happened while I was working as well, because in the initial couple of years, as you say, social media wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It was all legacy media. It was print, newspaper, magazines, all of this. Yeah, we didn't get the kind of live instantaneous feedback that one gets at this point. And in a way, I kind of think that was better. It was better, who knows. It made it easier to put a narrative out.
yeah.
Of course, you wouldn't know what was working and what wasn't. That is the downside
Yeah.
of
Like 10 years later, you're like, the chocolate boy thing didn't work.
it. Didn't work.
Damn it.
No, but also because you kind of at that point a lot more dependent on market research guys, the guys who are kind of doing doing actual polling out there.
Yeah.
You go to colleges, go to railway stations, and say, "Are you aware of such and such film that is coming? Have you heard this song? What do you think of it?"
Yeah.
And that was the kind of feedback data that you were getting, which is often wonky.
I was one of the people interviewed outside the theater when Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na
Were
came
you?
out. I think I was like 12. And I was like, I really liked the movie and I really liked Imran Khan. And then I was too excited. It was like my debut, actually. I don't know. Yeah, but it was like, I actually did really like the movie. And I was like, oh my God, they picked me because like, I'm like really fun and really cool and smart. But yeah, I might have been like one of the Redditors, basically, but real time.
I'm not a soft boy. I'm so grunge.
I had a punk phase, yeah.
I love that. Is this also AI?
No, believe it or not, I'm really ashamed to admit it. Can I just check that picture again?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm really ashamed to admit. I was attending, I want to say a wedding.
This was a Sangeet outfit?
It was either Sangeet or
Is this
or,
from...
or a wedding reception or something like this. Like I went to someone's wedding to congratulate them or something dressed like that, and I'm very ashamed.
That's amazing.
I can just imagine you, like, after all this and everyone's perceiving you as this, like, green flag, pookie, and you're just in your room, be like, Mom, I'm not into this. I'm just going to listen to, like, my Good Charlotte and, like, Blink-182 and just be super angsty.
I still listen to Blink-182.
Yeah.
That's like the sound of my high school.
Yeah, same.
I've,
Why
I've
do we have the
only
same
watched.
sound effects?
How? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Anyway, it's fine.
Moving on.
Moving on to the
Maybe
next
that
segment.
was AI. everything we don't want can be attributed to AI in this conversation. So that's a hard stop.
It is a timely deflection. Yes, I think.
But the one thing that you had that I didn't save as an image, and it's something that I die for, like I would love it, is one that pap shot of you sitting in the back of a car and it's like life in motion and you've been caught and I just want to be that relevant. I just want to be that relevant. I want someone to want to take a picture of me in my car.
So what
Yeah.
car?
I want to be that relevant
Yeah.
first.
First I want a car and then I want to be papped in a car.
I mean, you can be papped in a taxi.
It's not the same.
We don't take taxis, we're rickshaw
Yeah,
girls.
we're rickshaw girls.
One day.
Does this sentiment mean anything to you? मेरे बेटे के फोन पे मार देना.
मेरे बेटे के फोन पे मार देना.
Doesn't
No.
mean anything to
What
me.
are you saying? It's the universal, like the auto guy who doesn't have Google
Oh.
Doesn't have Google Pay.
Pay. And then he's like, मेरे लड़के के number पे मार देना.
I always...
See, I would not know this because I don't have Google Pay either.
What?
You're off the grid.
Yeah.
Is your KYC linked?
No,
Wait.
no, it's not.
You're off the grid?
I'm off the grid.
Do you think he knows what Blinkit is?
Do you know what Blinkit is?
I know what Blink
Okay.
is. Yes.
How do you pay for it? With like bullion?
Cash on delivery.
You're like, I'll
listen,
sign a photo and give it to you.
I have been a proponent of moving offline, and if at all possible, I would like to transfer everything over to gold bullion or something like this. It is a stable currency. You can kind of tuck it into your underwear, get on a plane, get out of the country,
And
You guys
then
need
get
to-
caught by customs on the other end with like bricks of
No,
gold.
then you just send an autograph.
Does this have anything to do with growing up in a school where there was no electricity?
Partially, yeah.
So now you have electricity?
Now
How
I have electricity.
hypocritical of you. I must say, you don't stand for very strong values.
I'm not opposed to electricity.
Yeah.
I
Tell
have-
us.
Thank God.
but I have had the experience of growing up without all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm able to appreciate the tremendous value and comfort that it does bring to us without taking it for granted.
Wait, you had no electricity in the sense that you all had to switch off the fans while sleeping?
No. So between the ages of 11 and 15, I studied in what can be best termed a Gurukul.
Okay.
This is about 3 hours outside of Ooty.
Okay.
No electricity means there was no electric connection. We were so far away from civilization. We did not have
You
an
were
electric.
3 hours from Ooty.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's not
far.
that far.
It is.
Yeah.
Bro.
Far enough that the other nearest human habitation was a 6-kilometer walk.
Jeez.
A
So-
walk.
Yeah. So we were proper forest Gurukul. We had no electricity. When the sun went down, we had to light kerosene lamps for light.
Wow.
We got water from a stream. We chopped firewood for cooking. We cooked our own food. We washed our own clothes.
Crazy.
So those formative years, I grew up learning this stuff, and this gives you again a certain grounding and a certain basis to understand the actual cost of the conveniences and comforts that we all have.
So how did y'all charge your phones? How did you scroll TikTok?
So now, like when your daughter is going to school, do you have to do that father thing कि मेरे time में हम चल के जाते थे, हम अपने
To find
कपड़े-
human civilization.
Yes, and she's already grown very tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, don't you olden days me? Is
The fact, but your olden days were like very well in the middle of technology. You just chose this like off-grid path.
yeah, I do have I guess a little bit of an off-grid, off-center instinct about me. I never did quite enjoy urban life.
I imagine that must have been super hard to firstly live without human civilization and then come and be like the
yeah, so
Bollywood
I've never
chocolate
quite
boy.
settled. I find
Yeah.
the pace of Bombay to be way too fast. The general energy level, the noise level, everything is above what I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're saying this as a dad whose daughter loves Taylor Swift. The energy level of an Eras tour is unmatched. Even Bombay falls back. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
What is my favorite Taylor Swift song? If I'm honest, none of them are my favorites. Imara's favorite is damn it.
Mera
Nah.
tujhse. No. You remember Frozen?
I don't.
I'm going to ask you on
I
camera.
remember Frozen. Frozen was such a big deal for us at that moment, and suddenly she outgrew it and became too cool for it.
Okay.
It was that's also a learning. It was like, hey, Frozen. She's like,
She's like, ew.
I'm not into that anymore. I'm 10 years old now.
But now she's like heading into teenagehood. What is that going to do for you?
For me,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a sense of, I guess, anxiety or concern around that part. I have, yeah, I'm kind of comfortable and secure in who she is, in the relationship that we have, that whatever that retro father-daughter thing is of, when she gets of age, then I will walk around with a shotgun and any boys who come, I'm like, this is a little problematic. I'm not that guy. So I have a lot of faith in who
Of
she
course
is.
you're
You
not
go
that
with
guy.
your kerosene lamp.
I was going to make the same joke.
Excuse me.
All the boyfriends are getting haunted.
Imran walked here, by the way.
Well,
10 kilometers from
He
his house.
started yesterday.
Now, see, that is a valid test. She's like, Dad, I kind of like this guy. Let me see him chop some firewood. Let's see if this guy can actually.
Can you change a tire?
Yeah, like these are some proper skills. I want to
But
see
like
if this
off a
guy's-
wheelbarrow.
No boy going to.
Anybody should be able to change a tire. This is a basic life skill.
Yeah, unless you know how to GP the auto wala bhaiya.
You should
Same
teach her.
skill set.
Inara needs to know.
I
कि
absolutely
if someone
will.
asks you, मेरे बेटे के number पे मार देना. It means it's a GPay reference.
Will GPay even be a thing?
Of course.
You think? How many
Put
more
your
years?
coins aside. We're moving into the cashless
I'm gonna,
economy.
I'm gonna
Cashless world.
scan my eye. By the time your daughter is 18, they're just gonna scan your eye and deduct
This is what I'm
money.
saying. There'll be something else.
Do you know how much your Getty images are going for right now?
You bought the Getty
No,
images?
I did
We don't
not.
have budget, yeah.
I didn't-
What?
Do you know how much your Getty images are going for right now?
People are selling images of.
Of course.
You're not
Why am I
making
not getting a
money
cut?
off
That's what
it?
I literally saw it and I was like,
Is this real?
yeah. You know how much? 14,000 rupees per photo.
Can I take a photo of you real quick?
Hang on.
Yeah.
How is this a viable business model if I'm not
I'm
getting
so
a cut?
sorry. Can I please take
is
a
this legal?
photo of him and sell it? Can I take a photo of you, please? I'll share the proceeds with you.
I want 51%.
Of course.
Nice.
Link your GPay. The day you link your GPay is the day you see that money.
I'm going to talk to this Getty fellow.
It's not a
You know him personally. I'm sure for us, it's
At some
not a
point, there must have
person.
been a
Getty
Getty.
tire wala. That's who you have to get in touch with. Okay.
If we get a photo of you with a kerosene lamp, do you think it'll go for more? 21,000.
You know what? You should shoot that on film for actual value. Then that's limited.
Now you're losing us.
Film
That's too
means-
artistic for us. We're mainstream
Haven't you heard?
commercial
Film is
people.
making a comeback. Celluloid is back.
Is it? Not on Getty. It's not. Okay, tell us about Bollywood. What was the experience like? How much do you hate choreographed songs?
Not that much, frankly. It is its own kind of fun. It's stressful. It's difficult. uh, and again that pressure of am I doing this at the level that is, again, because so many of these Bollywood guys who were either my contemporaries or seniors, you're looking around at the talent pool, you look at the way like Ritik dances, Shahid, Ranbir, all these guys, such amazing dancers. That was always a thing that I felt quite insecure about. Great dancers, great actors, and there is I do have to be honest enough as an actor to admit that you look at a lot of people and there is always some part that is measuring yourself against. This guy's doing this really well. This guy's doing this really well. He's doing that really well. Uh, and by and large, for me, my internal process and voice is such that I would measure myself unfavorably. Uh,
That's all of us, by the way. It's not.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
All of us do have that thing inside. You're looking at someone else and going, "This person is so amazing.
Yeah.
They move so incredibly. Their body is so incredible. They're so cool. They're whatever the thing is." There are so many ways that one tends to look at another and idealize them.
Yes. How do you cut that cord? Because I know you went to therapy, right? What
Yeah, I still
so
do.
have we? Yeah. And it's just one of those infinite loops where I think both of us catch ourselves constantly working on ourselves. And I'm like, okay, after a point, this is an overrated experience. Why do I have to keep being someone's
I have
homework?
other things to do.
Yeah.
More than homework,
Yeah.
it's self-improvement is necessary, is valuable, but one can also shall we say misinterpret, and in the guise or in the name of self-improvement, you can actually maybe be putting undue stress or pressure upon yourself, holding yourself to a certain standard and expectation because like I have to improve myself in these ways, and maybe those are not actually what you need. So I will not. I would not say that one should not be conscious of self improvement. One should be conscious of what is actually self improvement. What is actually supporting and helping oneself to be the healthiest, best, strongest version of self.
And what did you think was your Achilles heel or something that you had to really overcome?
Overcome.
It could just be like that you're really good looking. It's totally okay.
So hard. I was bullied.
It is, for me. It is that it is kind of a disconnect from the externalities of my life and my own internal process. Uh, and that is also kind of what helped me with the thing we were talking about earlier on about how to separate and disconnect yourself, is that it is easy to look at the externality of someone and get, so we say, intimidated by it. You can meet someone, go, shit, this guy is so cool and he's so tall and handsome and he's like I don't, he's much cooler than I am in all of these ways. And then sometimes you will meet someone who will talk to you, or I have had this where someone will talk to me about, and, oh my god, you seem so cool and so this and whatever. I'm like, oh, it's not what the inside feels like.
Yeah.
So then that separation of, okay, my inside and outside are kind of separated in this way. So must the experience be for many other people. Everyone that you bump into on the street, that gorgeous woman who you look at and go, oh my god, how perfect her features are, and and one can feel extremely jealous of her without knowing what the internal process is. So you have to separate that and say, okay, everybody's got their own stuff happening inside. So do I. Don't go by the outside. Don't judge a book by its cover. Very wise old saying.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna make the dumbest joke,
Make
but
it,
then
make it.
I was like, sometimes to get what you really want, you do have to cross security at an airport and sing the song. But then I was like,
okay, I get
let's
it.
end
I
that.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm sure through your life, people have given you great advice. What's some terrible advice that you've received?
Join Bollywood.
What's some unhinged, completely out of pocket, like some producers come to you and be like, Imran, bede, if you
Grew an extra thumb.
I'm trying to think, man. Like, I've probably gotten a lot of bad advice in life. It just passes by. I'm also, I have whatever. So it's some manner of social anxieties and awkwardness. So there's a lot of under the surface processes happening that I'm just kind of holding on to, managing all of this. So very often, if I find myself in an encounter with someone who I'm disagreeing with, someone who, as you this character of the producer that you turned into sounds familiar. I've probably been in a room with this guy before.
Yeah. Same guy.
Was he rubbing his chest as he spoke? I feel like I
Yes,
know
there
him.
was a couch. Yeah.
Great.
So around there, I glaze over and I just kind of dissociate. I'm like,
Thank you.
Basically, you blocked like 20 years of your life.
A significant chunk of it.
And then you had the guts to come on a podcast where we have to discuss all these events.
From time to time, I find myself looking at pictures and like, I don't think I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Are you sure that it looks like me? But
And
I
it
don't
was AI. We already debunked that.
yeah, I think we
Yeah.
can comfortably.
Attributed to AI.
Local kerosene lighting man discovers AI.
But we do you have more spoons in your house than you did when you came on relationship
Yeah,
advice?
yeah, I do. They're not mine. They're
Four?
Lekha's.
Okay. 5?
No, lots.
6?
I'm gonna say comfortably 24. Lekha came with many spoons, plates, glasses.
Love. You're welcome.
You saved my ass. Thank you.
Do you have that dot chair in your house?
Yeah, yeah.
I love that chair.
Oh, thank you.
She's my like super senior from college. We went to
Which-
NID.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
also an ID person.
Yeah. But that chair, I could never afford it when I saw it the first time. But the second time, I haven't seen it. So please invite me over for the 12 dozen
Now he has
spoons.
enough plates to feed everyone. But
Oh man, we had before Lekha and I moved in together, we had this little embarrassing incident where a couple friend came over to my place, and at that point I had only 3 plates. So we found ourselves with 4 people and 3 plates and 3 forks. So it was very romantic. Lekha and I ended up sharing a plate and a fork, and those guys.
I
You're
was
so lucky.
I was telling Naina this story because I heard it on relationship advice, and I was like texting it to her. I was like, he's like a hipster, basically. He's a minimalist, and I like texted the story, and Naina has responded, "What the fuck? Are you making this up?" And I was like, "You can't make this up."
There was an episode of Love Is Blind, if you know the show. Do you know the show?
He
Is this
just
the show
found
with the
out about
naked people?
electricity.
No, Love is that's naked and something.
That's-
Love Is Blind is this
Naked and
reality
Love.
show
Okay.
where like singles, they kind of blind date each other. They sit in these rooms opposite each other and they can just talk to each other. And the only time you can meet the person is
when you propose.
for marriage. And then you spend 3 weeks getting to know each other, and then there's a wedding day where you
Say yes or no.
Couldn't possibly go wrong.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it actually has gone right multiple times, which is insane
Because
to me.
love is blind.
Fair. But the thing is, there's one crucial episode after the couples are affianced where they come back to the boys' house and the girls' house and they kind of like look around. And one episode, literally, the girl had a meltdown because the guy only had plastic plates. Like he didn't have actual cutlery.
Cutlery.
And it was a point where she was like, I'm
Everywhere.
going to dump him. Like, I don't want to be
Yeah.
married.
Yeah, that I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to it?
No, so my stuff was all actual non-plastic plates. Corel, unbreakable.
I love it. Is this an ad? Now
Yeah,
it is.
I like the stuff.
So was it like a big adjustment for Lekha to move into this 3-plate
Yeah.
household?
Well, the adjustment has been her coming in and saying, why can't we have
More
even
things.
more glasses? I'm like, we have 6. How many more? Okay, now we have 12 glasses, like 6 of the small ones and 6.
Where's the madness
ones.
going to stop?
Yeah.
That's insane. 12 glasses.
What is
This
the
is
most
horrible.
what is the most like difficult thing that she's brought into your life as a change for you to deal with?
It's the increased number of objects. I had really pared my apartment down to a very, very small number of objects. I literally when I moved in, this was a few months after I separated from my now ex, and I was kind of decluttering my mind, and that translated into the space as well. I haven't seen Marie
You had
Kondo.
like 3 thoughts after.
I wanted to
Nice.
minimize those. Like
Yeah.
how much stuff do I need to
Yeah.
carry metaphorically?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've seen Marie Kondo.
I have never,
Oh.
but I
Same
started
philosophy.
I started doing the thing without realizing. Then my friends were like, "Oh, Marie Kondo,"
And you're like, who's that?
and the mantra as I moved into this apartment was that every object that I bring in must justify its existence. Do I really need this? Do I really want this?
I really
And then what did Lekha say as a justification of her existence?
Well, at that point, it was just me and my apartment. And then for the initial couple years of our relationship, she was still in her place and I was in mine. This past year, as we've kind of moved into the same space, it has been about the journey has been about finding that balance of me saying we have too many things, and she's like, "But I found this amazing thing."
Yeah. You know, one thing about women, we love knickknacks.
I have to say, I really want as like a reality show to you for you to live in a like a beauty influencer or a fashion influencer's house for 3 days and just see the amount of stuff and like the PR pundit. There's this delivery guy from a PR agency that comes to most influencers' houses like 4 times a day and
All the
delivers
things.
packages.
And there's just things.
And there's just things.
I can't.
Yeah, that's why we should make a reality show out of it.
People keep trying to send me stuff as well.
Yeah.
And as far as I can, I'm like, please don't.
Yeah.
Because suddenly I have a hamper with, jars of foot scrub or something. I'm like, I don't need.
What do you use? Like, what are your bathroom essentials? What's your skincare essential? Is it Borolene and Mysore sandal soap? Are you that humble?
No. I do try to look after.
Tell us what you do.
Let's see. Morning routine is face wash. I have like a niacinamide face wash, vitamin C, ferulic acid, serum, a light moisturizer. I use this stuff with hyaluronic acid because I have
Jeez.
kind of my skin tends greasy, and sunblock.
Wow, relax.
That's
too good.
I'm sending you a PR pack.
Thank you.
And at night,
So, and at night,
you have
again.
good skin.
Hire your own dermat. You can't do this to our guests. We call established guests who have dermats and then we just take one thing from their life.
I don't actually have
A
professional
dermat.
advice. No.
Oh.
So you also get it from Reels, or how do you?
No, Reddit.
What are you saying?
I don't have Instagram. I don't have the application on my phone.
Indian skincare addicts.
I'm aware of the subreddit.
Oh.
I check in from time to time.
I love it. Damn.
I'm watching you guys.
What
Yeah.
pages are you on Reddit?
A lot. I'm a long time Redditor. I guess I signed up to Reddit in 2012. Yeah, about then.
Same.
So I've been on there for a while, and I've seen a lot of these communities grow. Indian communities on Reddit have only really grown in the last 8-10 years. Prior to that, there wasn't
No,
much
yeah.
of that. So yeah,
Didn't
Indian skincare addicts I have seen.
incels wasn't incel culture born on Reddit?
Not so much born. 4chan is, I think, more of the offender of a lot of that. Obviously, there are those spaces on Reddit as well. But that also is kind of the internet. You have these
Top-
spaces.
Top 5 favorite subreddits.
Top 5 favorite subreddits.
Ours are going to be the same because I also have a lot of varied interests. I swear.
It switches around and around and around. I'm on movies r/movies all the time. That's just my thing.
Are you an actor?
Not in years. But-
Humble king.
I hope you're drunk.
Take
by
a shot.
now. Seriously. The biggest thing after Jaane Ya Jaane now was that women across age groups were just happy to have you. Like, they were just like, what a guy, what a nice. My grandmother was so impressed. My mother was so impressed. I was so impressed. And I don't think that like since Shah Rukh, there has been such a guy.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna say
it is a combination of the writing and then of
stop getting
and
the
then of
girls
people
drunk. This
trying
is
to
too
choose the
humble. Give a
uh,
give a more baddie answer, please.
it is a twofold thing. uh Abbas wrote the character. He wrote all of that stuff out. So there is, I guess, some part of it where he as a creator, me as an actor, and as a person with a creative voice in my own right, we have over the years felt a void and in a particular kind of male representation.
Yeah.
uh, Before we started filming, you and I were talking about growing up on cinema, watching Bollywood, all of this. And I didn't grow up watching a lot of Bollywood, oftentimes because the the characters, the narratives, the style of masculinity, I did not see myself reflected in it.
Yeah.
Uh, it was, the late 80s was a time of particularly macho chest thumping cinema, not unlike the cinema of today.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have this context because I mean I was really young at the time. But at the time when Amir's first film Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak came out,
Your debut.
my debut also, thank you. But that character that Amir was playing was kind of a non-traditional masculine character
Right.
for that time.
Yeah.
I loved the film
Yeah.
because my uncle was in it. My uncle made it. So it was a whole family thing. But then by the time it came around time for me to start looking at the kind of films that I wanted to do, I was looking for stuff where I myself felt seen. Like
Okay.
I don't see myself in those roles. So there were other characters and other scripts that over those years that I passed on. I would read and say, I don't see this isn't me. I don't get this guy. I don't view the world through this lens.
It was really like there was this sliver in the early 2000s where cinema kind of reached a place when it was representing like a progressive India. And then that carpet was pulled quite suddenly.
During Kabir's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a kind of a tonal shift, I feel, in the cinema and in our portrayal of masculinity, in our portrayal of romance, our portrayal of romantic relationships. The narrative and the feel of it has switched to what feels like domination based, conquering based, rather than something based on, I guess, mutual engagement.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm seeing in the narratives.
Basically, lack of consent.
Not just lack of consent. Rather, it is a modeling and a pattern, a modeling of a pattern of romantic relationships, in which the male-female dynamic is one of male dominion over female.
Yeah.
The woman may be quote unquote feisty or something like this, but the man will ultimately dominate, and the taming of the shrew thing of you sudhrao her and then she becomes a good girl. That style of cinema is a little uncomfortable.
You call it a style, I call it my culture. So I was finding Gen Z slang terms. Now you have a daughter, so you might have heard.
Okay, isn't it kind of cheating that you had to look it up?
No, no.
I
Like
mean, I know.
you should bring it up organically.
Oh,
Like use it in a
it's
sentence.
giving. No, I had to properly look it up because I'm also just posing as Gen Z. That's my job. I'm actually 1983 born. Okay. The first word is Riz.
Riz is like an abbreviation of charisma.
Yes.
You probably know more than Naina.
Who's like the most rizziest, like the rizziest person you've met?
Certified Rizzler.
Wow, Javed Akhtar is a dude. He is a guy who people scramble to sit next to him. If you happen to be at an event or at a party and you see a seat next to him, people scrabble to get that seat. The guy's a trip. He's endlessly entertaining.
Which famous person's hair would you pull to sit next to Javed Akhtar Saab at a party?
And it has to be someone who's got a transplant.
Whose toupee would you yank? I love it. Do you know what NPC is?
Like a non-player character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up playing video games.
Okay.
But do you know what that means in real life?
What?
Like a yeah. Oh.
Oh, in
sorry,
real
yeah.
life,
Yeah.
okay. I guess someone who acts like an NPC. In video games, the characters who just have one function.
Yeah, they have no personality.
Yeah, they kind of just 2 or 3
Yeah.
preset phrases of.
Okay. Which NPC would you push to sit next to Javed Akhtar?
I mean, as long as they're NPC, they can be absolutely anybody, right? Like even a
That's
handicapped person, it's like fine. They're not real.
Sorry, Papa.
Her dad's handy.
I apologize. No
I
offense
already
intended.
apologized. No stress. No stress. Do you know what core is?
Core?
From like NPC core.
Oh, okay. In the same way as whatever, like hardcore or like NPC core, is in that sense.
I don't know, those are two different meanings.
Different meanings, but core as a suffix to the
Yeah.
Like an ism.
like an ism. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Whatever, like
You thought of
fashion at
No.
some point.
Okay.
I thought about jism. Jism.
Like the movie.
Like
Yeah.
the movie.
Yes. I was like, what do you mean? But yeah, it's like basically any aesthetic is like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm so.
such and such core. Yeah,
Yeah.
cottage core.
I've
an
lost
aesthetic.
my Gen Z brain. Like, I can't pretend anymore. I'm almost 28. It's not happening. Do you know what a situationship is?
Yeah, I think Facebook made that a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
I am
where-
in a situationship with
Yeah.
this thing.
It's a complicated, not exactly a clearly defined relationship.
Yeah.
Something that is a situation.
After your last relationship, did you go and change your Facebook status?
Facebook.
Facebook status.
I have never had a Facebook account.
Oh no! Trick question.
I never signed up.
That's true.
Do you know what the
And
internet is?
Yeah, I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg.
That's
Okay,
Tru-
fair.
truthfully.
Fair. I think he's AI. Yeah. But also, I personally love Mark Zuckerberg because my job's on Instagram. So, like, he,
yeah.
how can you trust a god? You know what shook is?
Shook, like I'm shook.
Yeah.
Yeah, shaken, rattled,
Yeah.
unsettled.
You know what drip
I have a
is?
pocket thesaurus somewhere.
Which producer has made you feel shook? You don't have to answer.
Yeah, I'd rather not name.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah.
But it has happened and
Yeah.
tremendously unpleasant experience. Yeah.
Tell us what the experience was, if you don't mind. You don't have to name the person.
Toxic work environment, basically. A very erratic, high-strung narcissist who are utterly unpredictable and just viciously vindictive.
Damn.
You'll tell me off camera. now.
Off camera, I will.
Yeah. Guys, the
guys
episode
don't
is
get to find
over. I really need to. You know what ghosting is?
Yes, it's disappearing without responding to messages.
In your rebound, did you ever ghost anyone?
I love how she's coming
I tend heavily towards just ghosting everyone in life because of,
You're not on the internet.
and I'm terrible with my phone as well. It's on silent basically all
You
of the time.
responded to me very promptly.
So I go on to Instagram every couple of days and check for messages. Sometimes not. It's erratic, frankly. Same with my phone.
Wait,
I'll get a notification. I'll be like, I'll look at that later, and then 2 days go by, and I'm.
how did you and Lekha meet?
We were all kind of in a group of friends.
Okay.
Her then partner actually was an old school friend of mine. So we
Okay.
were all kind of within the same group of friends.
I don't know why I assumed it was on Raya. Sorry. Then I was like, wait, it's not on dating apps. So,
Yeah, no. I didn't even try to get an invite actually. I could certainly never keep up with that thing of because in order to hook up with people or get matches or whatever, you have to spend time on there, right?
Yeah.
I don't touch the damn thing. The
I
phone.
don't think you would have to spend time. People would just want to.
I'd have to read messages at least and respond
Yeah.
to them, and I just wouldn't.
Did you have to like make much conversation if you were ever like dating going on a first date, or was everyone just mesmerized and had?
Well, see, I didn't really enter into that area because I started dating Avantika when I was just about 19 years old,
Yeah.
long before I became an actor. So then, by the time I became an actor, my first film came out, I was already well and truly
Right.
in a long-term committed relationship. So the first date or kind of socializing with someone in that era of my life where I was a known person, that didn't happen. It just wasn't a thing.
Right.
And for what it's worth, I kind of glad that I didn't have to navigate that thing, just because it would be really, really complicated.
You know, I was in a really long-term relationship, and then I broke up, and then I got divorced, and then I got into a new relationship after that. And I felt like when I got out of my last relationship, I think we had started dating when I was like 20. And when I got out of it at like 29, I felt like I was still almost naively at my 20-year-old dating self. Did you feel that?
Yes. So this is, I guess, kind of the pattern that even I was guilty of falling into, which is that entering into a relationship at such a young age, whatever one's patterns may be, the dynamic that you set over there is with the knowledge and understanding of an 18, 19-year-old, which is limited. And what today we may call out as red flag behavior, or, oh, this is not a healthy dynamic. At that point, one said, okay, well, we have ups and downs, and this is just. And so, for a longer time, normalizing and just adapting and adjusting around what was at its core not an equitable, healthy dynamic.
Yeah.
So I did find that I was having to unlearn a lot of that stuff. I was 36 when I got out of this relationship. From 19 to 36, that's basically my entire adult life. So yeah, the process of saying, oh, just because we interacted in this way in our relationship does not mean that is quote unquote normal,
Yeah.
or even healthy, or that it applies going forward in other relationships.
Yeah, and to extend to that, I also feel like a lot of things that I thought was situation specific to that relationship, when you start another serious relationship, it's like a lot of those patterns start repeating. Like, actually, these things are things that I need to rectify in myself when they're traveling with me from person to person.
What is it? Yeah, there's this old saying that I remember about if you bump into an asshole in the morning, you're unlucky. If you bump into a dozen assholes through the day, maybe you're the asshole.
Yeah. I mean, if the
Not calling you an asshole.
I know, I do it enough.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Both of us have taken 3 minutes to come up with yes.
Yeah, I literally said if the
cap fits. I know.
I
Yeah.
was like, that doesn't
This is India's smartest podcast. Huh? That's how we position
Is it? You have a
ourselves.
certification?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
yes.
got an award. Filmfare.
Nice.
So we asked our audience to write in with stories of whether they should date or dump the person they're with. And since you have self-proclaimed emotional intelligence and your mother was a therapist, so you know what you're talking about and all of that.
And also,
Yes, because all of her knowledge is just passed
It's just
on.
pass. It's like, you just lie next
it's
to it.
hereditary,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
In
how
that
nepotism.
Indeed.
We have 3
We
jokes.
have literally
We
three
have an
jokes.
issue.
Okay, I'm going to read you some and you tell us what.
These are actual real life situations, so be kind. Unless they're really stupid, then you can call them really stupid.
Okay, so Imran, basically talking to this guy 4 years younger than me, who I have had an amazing fling with 2 years ago, and then slept with him and distanced himself from. One sec. Sorry. It's the way Gen Z are.
You want some reading glasses?
Yeah. Wait. Okay, sorry. So basically talking to this guy who's 4 years younger than me. who I've had an amazing fling with for 2 years. And then after I slept with him, he distanced himself from me. Cut to 2 years later, he now has a streak with me since 100 days, and we have spoken every single day since he messaged me 3-ish months ago. The catch here is he's from Delhi, working in Aurangabad for the next 4 years,
Yeah.
and I'm in Bombay. He came to Bombay last week, took me out with my friends. We went out with his flatmates in the night, and he kept on touching me and feeding me with his hands, and now he has gone back. His texts seem very warm, but I'm not sure if he will actually ask me out. Also, we have a major language difference because he sucks at English and I suck at Hindi. Also, he's banya. Also, he's obsessed with his father. Also, he's not very good looking, but he's cute. Also, I'm of marriageable age and my parents are pressuring me. Also, he's not the best kisser in the world. Also, his lifestyle is extremely different from mine. Brackets, I don't mind that. I don't know if I like him or I like him only because he's giving me attention. Lots to
What the
unpack.
fuck?
There's a lot to unpack there, man. Yeah.
Do you know what a streak is?
Yeah. They consistently talking on.
It's a Snapchat thing.
Oh.
Like
I
you
haven't
send,
understood.
you send each other a snap
I don't have
every day
Snapchat
to
either.
keep the streak going.
Okay, yeah.
Which no adult today uses Snapchat. If you're seeing someone and their main source of communication to use a streak, that is the
Bits.
pits. It's like you're in the trenches, you're in the gutter. Sorry.
Thoughts?
So when I was 15, I was in Bangalore, and I was dating a girl who lived in Chennai, or Madras as it was called back then. And we had to write letters to each other. So, that was our streak. Like actual physical letters, and lick the stamp and put it and send
We
it off.
also
and
do. Father.
You've never written a letter.
Yeah, but I've yes, I haven't. But I've like rolled things.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
It'll get cut.
Then what happened in the story? Are you guys still together?
No. Ultimately, she moved to the UK and became a teacher. She's lovely, but I'm generally skeptical of long distance relationships. Just that's my base level assumption. Which your mileage may vary, but I'm as a base level skeptical of the long distance thing, because then your entire relationship is dependent upon whatever the current form of communication is. Snapchat is not acceptable.
We've learned today.
Yeah.
Inland letter cards are slow, and there's a long time in between. So
We don't trust Zuckerberg, so that's out.
Yeah.
Be real.
It's an app. Before you're like, I'm so real.
okay, so
Yeah.
whatever the app is,
Yeah.
Ultimately it's all coming to the same black rectangle, right?
Yeah.
So either I have the rectangle in my pocket and you can reach me, or I don't.
Yeah.
But for your relationship, all of it to kind of boil down to that device doesn't seem tenable.
Fair.
So you're saying dump him?
It doesn't seem like she's heavily invested in the relationship, and whatever the narrative of I'm of marriageable age and my parents are pressuring me. Like these are ideally not factors that you should be taking into consideration. It should be a basis. Do I want to be married? Do I want to be married to this person? Is this something I'm seeking in my life? All of these are much more relevant.
Do I want to be fed in front of my friends? That's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I lost it there.
Yeah.
Like if
I'm
somebody-
uncomfortable with that.
Right?
Sharing a plate and a fork is where Imran draws the line.
Yeah. We can share a plate, but
Don't feed
directly
me.
feeding.
Yeah.
She's
In
not
front of
specified.
other people.
Yeah. One is hoping that this is not, hand to mouth feeding with like a.
Oh my god, like a dal chawal situation.
I,
Ew.
Yeah, I hope it's not that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's with chopsticks,
Yeah. Do you think Aditi and Jay would have still been together?
I do believe so. I think so.
Yeah.
Because the intention of the story, the construction of it was such that we wanted to convey an idealized romantic relationship, one that quote unquote happily ever after. It is meant to be a
Yeah.
fairy tale.
Yeah.
There's also a conspiracy that the entire plot that the friends were telling the air hostess. Who
Yeah.
were they telling? Yeah, the air hostess.
The pilot, actually.
The pilot?
Your,
Sorry,
no,
I can't remember.
she's a.
your sexism is showing.
That it didn't actually happen, and that they were just telling her a story to kill time.
No, we never considered that. Uh, I'll bore you for a moment with a little bit of technical backstory. At the time we were making the film, shooting on celluloid was still the norm. Everyone was shooting on celluloid, and digital cinematography was very, very, very new. This is 2006, 7. Uh, so Abbas and Manoj Lobo, our director of photography, made a conscious choice that the airport narrative, where the friends are telling, what is her name?
Aditi.
Not Aditi.
No, bro. Jignesh's girl.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
played by Renuka, who's a friend. Sorry, Renuka, I've forgotten your character name.
I don't think I think
Uh,
it's unnamed.
No, she has a name.
Unnamed air hostess.
Yeah. That entire part of the narrative was shot on digital, because particularly at that point, digital had a little more noise, a little more grain. You weren't able to get kind of the warm tones of celluloid. And the Jay Aditi, once we go into the story, that was shot on Kodak Super 35, which was known for its particularly kind of warm tones. So it was kind of this gorgeous, ethereal, romantic, cinematic world. So the film actually starts on digital with these guys in the car driving to the airport. And with Jay's dream, we enter celluloid. And whenever you cut back and forth, that narrative is digital, this is celluloid, because the story is meant to be a little bit of a fantastical dream world. It's meant to look more beautiful than reality. So,
Okay.
so there was never a thought that it is a construct, more so that this is a beautiful romantic fairy tale, so we treat it as such. That's
Okay.
why there's a visual difference.
And what was it like riding a horse to the airport? Did you feel like you
I
fulfilled
felt
some
very
romantic
cool.
fantasy?
I felt very cool.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I had to learn horse riding for the film, and I became fairly comfortable with it. And anytime we had a shot where I was riding a horse down Marine Drive or through Flora Fountain into the airport, I felt really cool.
Yeah.
What was the horse's name?
That was a horse called, I want to say, Badal.
Okay.
Was a
We'll
famous
never know.
was a properly famous horse who appeared in a bunch of films around that time.
Who
Appeared
was her
in
uncle?
it was a filmy horse. Dude, filmy horses have to be properly trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they know action and cut.
Oh.
And when they hear cut, they know to turn around, go back to the starting point.
That's
They're
crazy.
smart.
That's more than we know.
Yeah.
So this horse also had a significant starring role in a film with Abhishek Bachchan called Drona, which came out around
Oh.
the same time.
Much more complicated.
Shout
Yeah.
out Badal.
Yeah, so it's same horse.
Any message for Badal? He might be watching the pod right now.
I have some doubts about whether the horse is still with us.
Yeah.
I pray that they still are, but I can't be certain.
Okay.
It's some years have passed.
Rest
Way
in
to bring
peace,
down the
Badal.
energy of this pod.
Your horses,
Rest in peace, Badal.
horses don't last forever.
Badal's watching this and like, what the fuck? I'm alive.
My situationship with this guy started in 2023. We were best friends and everyone thought we were dating, but we weren't. We knew we
I know
liked
this
each other, but never confessed it. We just had occasional makeout and hookup sessions. Then one day he suddenly told me he was dating this girl. It broke my heart, but I pretended it was cool, kept the chill vibes and stepped back. A year later, he came back and said he had broken up with her, so we started hooking up again. 2 months ago, he started seeing another girl, and this time I want to cut him off for good. But whenever we meet, he gets very close to me, touching, kissing, and it's hard for me to stop him because I'm clearly not over him, even though I know he has a girlfriend.
This sounds problematic, man. This sounds a little bit like a relationship of convenience.
Yeah.
A lot, bit.
Yeah.
Date or dump meaning he doesn't want to date you only.
Yeah, this is an area where you need to ask for clarity and assert your own boundaries. about what is acceptable to you and what it is that you are seeking. If both of you are in alignment and you both want to actually enter into a relationship, that's amazing. But this seems like it is more convenient for him.
Yeah. Or you should date his best friend. Depending on how toxic you're feeling that day, because she's owed some revenge, I
Yeah,
feel.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It's like 3 years of revenge
Yeah.
coming.
Show up at his wedding.
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Or it makes like vision freaky.
But then Mr.
No, it's like
Mr. Beast will get you your vision back, sweetie.
Dump him.
I love that. You should we stand and clap?
Sorry, what?
It'll build my confidence up a little bit.
It will? Okay.
I'm kidding.
Anything for our guest. We're the most hospitable podcast. We won an award, filmfare.
You should really display these.
Hannah?
We're trying to be humble, learning from the best.
Oh, I'm not the best.
Okay, I'm
No,
doing.
you.
I'm into him because he isn't into me, but he's into all my friends though.
You should date him.
You should date his dad.
Like, come on. It's like you're baiting for. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is bait.
Wait.
Into all her friends. Means what?
Yeah, like he's into every.
Yeah.
He is the reason of my anxiety attacks and also the same person who knows how to handle them.
So he's setting fires and then putting them out?
Yes.
You know, the people that sell the cigarettes are the ones that own the hospitals or something. Do you know that? Like, it's a huge thing. Big data needs to get on
that
this.
seems like an overgeneralization.
Like, but there's a phrase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah.
So
Look
yeah,
so dump him then?
yeah. This is because ideally he's it's like he's putting out the fires that he's starting.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah.
You want to ask him to not set any fires to begin with.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
Dump him.
Dump him. These people are baiting. There's
Yeah.
no way this is a real thing.
None
Yeah.
of these sound like balanced people.
Random red flags are like when he has 3 forks. 3 spoons.
We're not getting over this.
You've really given me like a nugget of information that's going to carry me through this year. Like, I'm just too excited. I'm like, anytime I don't have anything in my house, I'll be like, have you heard of Imran Khan's way of living?
I only have this many forks to give, yes.
Yeah.
No.
I love
That's
it.
very good. I
2
love it.
puns in one episode. Stop, guys. That's insane. Well, on that note, that is the note we're leaving you on. Thank you so much for joining us, Imran. Did you
Thank
have
you for
fun?
having me. Yes, I've had a great time. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah. And now you just have to sit in traffic for 3 hours to go back.
Nee. Mid-afternoon should be all right. Or has it already become evening?
Time flies when you're having fun, is what I always say.
Is there anything you want the people to look out for? Is there any message about how you want to be perceived?
How I want to be perceived?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. People figure that stuff out for themselves.
Yeah.
You do you, and people will read what they read into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so comment
To
down
be
below.
or not to.
To pay.
To pay or
or
not to
not to
pay.
pay.
That is the question. And bye.
Wave to the camera.
So now can you do an effect of like us fading
Yeah.
away as we do the
Vedant,
wave?
Vedant, just do the effect.
Roll it.
like a train departing.
Okay.
Can we turn into horses?
Yeah.
Can we turn into horses in the edit?
Yeah, we can. Of
Yeah.
course.